on 93.9 The Ville. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Go.
Ooh, welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. I know you feel it. We're getting about to that 26-ish hour mark countdown. I hope you've properly submitted your request for your time off if you're working said job during this time. If not, we'll be here in the meantime. Steve Rummage is headed to the state tournament. Nikki V in the booth.
Good morning, Marcus. Yes, it's we are. There's something about today where, like you said, 26-hour mark. You're right there at the tournament, and in the 11 o'clock hour, we have all the pressers. So it's sort of like all the pressers, like 11 o'clock. I believe we're gonna have U of L. Their USF, I believe, is scheduled to talk at 10:20.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to take that live if you're interested. But yeah, in the 11 o'clock hour, we're gonna have U of L. So
I might be able to do a bit of USF. Let's see what kind of mood I'm in when we get there. Other than that, so we'll have Kelsey and then we'll have the players. How many players do you know?
I believe it's two. But I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I'm not positive.
Okay, I can handle that. So what's the vibe on campus? What's the vibe in the area?
I mean, it's a little bit of an overcast day, a little sleepy morning. I saw some of the athletes out there getting a morning run in my commute down here, but there's a little bit of I feel like a light buzz, if you will. I mean, you just kind of pick that up. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of feel that energy, like a light hum. And
when I go to Kroger, I feel it too at Kroger. Just I see the gear, I see the UK gear coming out a lot more. I see the Louisville gear just on full display. Of course, the Louisville gear stands out more. It's better looking, and it's just better. But I see it all over the place. I'm starting to get excited, but excited in a kind of a terrible way. Listen, here's the disclaimer for today's show, good people. If you're tuned in for a good show, a good tournament, basketball talk, whatever, good sports show, sorry to tell you, this is not the show for you. If you didn't want to hear that this morning, I tell you what, no harm, no foul. If you're in the car, reach down, turn the channel, turn the station, hook your Apple Air, CarPlay, whatever you got to do. I don't mind. Listen, I know the suits don't want me to say this live on air, but this is for your better mental health that you change the channel right now. Okay, good people. Quick, I'll give you a quick situational awareness kind of thing. I have a coworker at ESPN Louisville. His name is James Black, okay? For all intents and purposes, we're going to call him James Bad News Black. Are you familiar with this coworker, Nikki? James Bad News Black?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the reason his name is now James Bad News Black is because he did that thing to me yesterday, right? He did the "we need to talk" thing yesterday. You know, Nikki, the "we need to talk" text that no man can stand.
That's never a good thing.
Now listen, he didn't carry it out as far as the "we need to talk" thing, but what level does the pit of your stomach drop when someone says to you, "Hey man, I got some bad news"? Right?
Oh, it plummets. It's like the elevator. Just
exactly, Nikki. I'm so glad that you came up with that ride on the spot, because I was going to spend 2 minutes trying to beg the texters and the callers to tell me what ride am I thinking of that gives you max pit of your stomach drop. I hate that. Again, everyone knows this story. I've told it 1,000 times. It's the shortest story. I won't do it, but I want you in this mood with me. So James Black says, we need to talk. Or no, I'm sorry, not we need to talk. I got some bad news. I'm like, what's up? Yeah, I got to do some other work. Nikki's gone, and you're gonna have Tanner. And I'm like, was that meant to be funny? Were you pulling my chain with that dramatic tone? Like, you're a guy and I'm a guy. You don't play around like that. Were you kidding with me? Right? Because James doesn't, so he does that, right? The other story that I have to put people in my mood. Everybody knows the story, but I have to say it because I'll never miss a chance to let everybody know how evil people can be sometimes. I missed a call. I look over at my phone. Okay, I'll call back. Okay, I'll call back. No, I'm sorry. I listened to my voicemail. That's what it was. Jalen got shot. Call me.
Wait, what the?
What? LaDawn Reeves, her voice is on my phone saying, Jalen got shot. Call me. Right? I call. She don't answer the phone. I call his phone.
Hello?
Hello?
What you doing?
What are you doing?
I got shot.
What?
Oh, it just hit my arm.
What?
I kind of burned. I was at my boy's house and something happened down the street and I guess it's just straight, came up, we were about 4 houses up the street and we were sitting on the porch and
what you doing? You got surgery or something?
I took some Advil.
Is your mother near you?
Yeah, she's right here.
I love this voice you're doing.
Yeah. My 6'2", 240-pound Tennessee linebacker son. Can you imagine that level of anxiety?
Oh my God! Seriously, that I'm not kidding. Like that is levels of stress that can't blink in unison for months after.
I'll never forgive her for that. You knew what you was doing, girl. You knew what you were doing. So anyway, levels of panic. I want you to feel the pit of my stomach today. Okay? Now, this is what I want you to do. This is another exercise in your psychological toughness. If you listened to the show yesterday, that show is over. That content is done. That content is effectively trash from yesterday. Officially. Now that I got that part off my chest, we're going to talk about this game that we got coming up. We're going to talk about the matchup, the 6-11 matchup with Louisville basketball and South Florida. Actually, I should say South Florida and Louisville basketball because they're 11 and we're the 6. So, this is the part where I say we need to talk. And I know everybody's, the pit of your stomach. You can feel it. You know what's going on. You know exactly what's going on right now. Last night disturbed me incredibly. Nikki, did you get a chance to watch any of the North Carolina State-Texas game?
I didn't. I was working at the restaurant, but I saw Texas inched past them.
Texas did win. But the winner and the loser right now is of no consequence. Maybe later on in this conversation, it will spin the block and talk about the win and loss effect. If anyone watched Texas, North Carolina State, you should be having the same level of urgency that I have this morning. If you consider yourself a real basketball fan, a purist of the sport, whatever makes Louisville fans, whatever makes the state of Kentucky feel like we are the creme de la creme of the basketball fan, you saw exactly what I saw, and you were worried. You heard Dick Vitale, Charles Barkley, I forget who the other guy doing the commentary was. You heard them, basically crapping on the NCAA the whole time. That part was pretty funny. I'm like, Charles, they're never going to invite you to do another basketball game again. Do you realize that Charles Barkley, I don't know what the phrase he used, but it was like dum-dums or something, or dumb as a box of rocks or something. He said that about the NCAA in the opening play-in game of Texas and North Carolina State. What's wrong with you, Charles? The poor the main announcer, the main moderator, he kept trying to get them back on traffic, but you just heard two old guys, old curmudgeons. Dick Vitale and Charles, at some point, they just sounded like old curmudgeons. Even if I agreed with what they were saying, just listening to them together, just, you know what else I hate? That was pretty funny. Anyway, you watched the game and you remembered how different tournament basketball from regular season basketball is. How different NCAA tournament basketball is from conference tournament basketball. It's a problem. Okay? Now, what do? I say, okay, Marcus, let's start writing. Let's just write. Let's write what comes to mind. And I write about what I saw, what bothered me. I said, this is tournament basketball right here. Like I was on edge watching that game. Not the score. If you've competed in something physical where you pushed yourself to the limit, you probably most likely at some point have developed a cramp in a muscle. Would that be fair to say for you, Nikki?
Yeah.
In-game, like an in-game, in-run, kind of like a cramp. You may not have locked all the way up, but you felt it. Or you've been in the bed at night and you feel that Charlie horse just knot up in your leg and you kick your feet out, you kick your leg out. What was the famous saying of Muhammad Ali? He didn't start counting until until
it hurt.
Yeah, until he felt the burn. Think about that. Now let me make you run and run and run. And then we start the game. And then we start the NCAA game. Let me make you run a 5K. Just a nice little 5K. Nothing big. But you have to complete that 5K in a record time for yourself. Now imagine that feeling, and then you get out on the court. That level of adrenaline now on the court. Now you got that adrenaline, but you just finished that 5K and your personal best. So imagine your legs. That's how they feel 2 minutes into the game, right? Because you have to do everything very, very hard. You have to guard harder than you've guarded. You have to, it's fewer fouls. So you have to be more physical. You have to be like, it's the violence for a rebound. You jump higher for the rebounds. Your legs just burn more in the game. You can watch that. If you watched that game last night, again, I'm talking to the purists right now. If you watched that game last night, you could feel how dry their lungs were early into the game. You could see how like these teams, nobody walks in regular season basketball. And if they do, the coach is going crazy about it. I mean, you might get a stud every once in a while. He just slows it down and, walks up. But there's no real walking. Only time you're walking when you physically can't run because your legs are really burning, but the coach needs you out there and he needs you to push through. You are at your physical, the nature of physicality and conditioning you have to have when you hit the tournament. It's another level. Marcus, why are you talking about hey, everybody does? It's different. What is the best thing about Louisville? If I ask you, Nikki, what's three good things about Louisville? That you think, what makes them good? What are three things that makes Louisville good?
Three things that makes Louisville good.
No need to overthink it.
Well,
Jesus, you think we suck that bad?
No. Okay, multiple guys can score in double figures. There might be there's depth in the backcourt. No.
Boom.
Let's see here. If you go by the bubblegum card, multiple guys can knock down threes.
You were so close to getting the trombone. Good job.
Thank
Nikki. You landed the plane shooting. That's why I said don't overthink it. Shooting. This team is built on shooting. Right? I mean, is it fair to say?
Yes. By the way, we have USF's presser up. It's the players right now. If you want to hear,
I don't want the players.
Okay.
When it gets to the coach, I don't mind tapping in really quick. Okay. Shooting. Now, shooting is the thing that can be affected the most with the least. I used to, when I grew up playing, this old man at Kleeman Community Center. I say old man is ironically he was probably 24 at the time. I was probably 13, right? Used to always touch my elbow or my bicep when I shot, right? And he would I would be ready to cry because I couldn't beat him up. And I didn't want to call a foul. I was probably a little younger. But I'm finally on the court with the big boys, and he's touching my bicep or my elbow when I'm shooting. If you ever been a shooter or shot a basketball, do you know that touching your elbow, it's the slightest touch, what it does to your shot? I mean, you don't have a shot at really hitting the rim most of the time. And if it's a horizontal touch, you got no shot at hitting a three-pointer. The only way you can score that bucket is if you're damn near dunking on him or taking the ball to the basket with two hands. Like, no jump shots have a chance when someone touches your elbow. That'll make an air ball. So that little touch can affect your shot. There's not a lot of ticky-tack calls in the NCAA. Players are getting contact on their jump shots. Players that are trying to draw fouls on their jump shots end up looking stupid and getting up off the floor while the other team is running the other way. Everyone knows how I feel about trying to draw fouls on the perimeter and not getting them, taking the ball to the basket and falling and not getting the call. Now imagine tournament intensity and not getting that call. Imagine being in a 2-on-1 fast break and not using the glass, and that layup missing and getting a little bump. And imagine sitting with me when it happens. I don't care who I'm sitting with. When my team takes the ball gingerly to the basket, when we watch this South Florida game, don't be near me complaining about the fouls, because I'll change my vitriol from that television to whatever human is complaining about getting a foul during the tournament. I've been telling you and telling you and telling you. Last night was the best reminder. Shooting, the smallest thing of contact, can affect your shooting. You know what else affects your shooting more than anything on the planet? Fatigue. Fatigue.
Oh, yeah. When your legs go. Yep.
Fatigue. If your best asset is shooting, you are going to be fighting through fatigue. I say fundamentals fight through fatigue. Fundamentals fight through fatigue. It's going to be hard to shoot when you're tired, when you have tournament tired. And listen, I'll do this. I'll grant you an argument that I'm sure you didn't think about. Tournament fatigue on legs is a lot different. You know, hey, I'll throw you a nugget here and there. I'll say, hey, we only played 2 games in the ACC tournament. So did South Florida, because they had buys or whatever to win their championship. I'll grant you that argument. I'll even throw you one more nugget that you don't even think about when talking about fatigue. Longer timeouts. Tournament media timeouts are longer. Okay? More commercials, more time to get yelled at. Speaking of getting yelled at, side note, did you, by any chance, Nikki, see that clip of Coach Miller about to literally end his assistant coach's life?
I do not know.
I'm going to send this to you, and I'm going to
please do.
I'm going to finish my point. You can watch it live. You can comment live as you're watching it, because this is important for you to see. Boom, I'm sending it to Nikki. What are you in? It's in my phone. Nikki V. There you go. Actually, it's not very long. If you get it quick, you could tell it before I get back to my tired legs. Yes.
Okay, I'm watching.
And you can hear the guy in the background.
Oh boy. Oh, the assistant was like at midcourt. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, he is mad.
I would have pulled the Jason Kidd and ran into that coach. I would have ran into that coach. If I'm an NC State player, I would have ran into that coach. And if I'm what's my coach's for NC State? What's his name? What's his name?
Will Wade.
Will Wade. If I'm Will Wade, I'm going crazy. Their coach, the Texas coach, thought there was a buzzer beater game winner, and the assistant coach, ran all the way out on the court to at least the mid 3-point line. Okay, put it this way. He ran far enough that it was a technical foul guaranteed.
Yeah.
That shot.
I mean, like, there's no.
There's
you
no
know
discussion.
what I mean? Like exactly. There's no discussion. That's it. It's refereeing malpractice if he doesn't.
I would have felt bad for Texas because of the, it's not the enforcement of the rule, the letter of the law. That was one that, no, hey, you messed up. You messed up. You can't run. Listen, we got a technical foul when we were on the cusp of beating Pittsburgh. Rick Pitino was going to kill the male cheerleader that ran on the court. Do you remember that, Nikki, or do you remember hearing about that?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, he grabbed the ball, threw it up in the air.
Or
and
something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's a technical foul. North Carolina State, 2 free throws and the ball. Complete game changer, right? They didn't call it. Whatever. That was pretty funny. But timeouts are longer, but the recovery doesn't matter because, coaches say this, coaches say, we joke around about how guys should, if you're playing as hard as you can, you should only be able to play, 2 minutes at a time. And I laugh about that because I'm like, dude, you're resting. Like, don't let your kids listen to me. I told you don't listen to me today. Don't let your kids listen to me either. You get a lot of resting spots on during the game, but not in the tournament. And you have to do everything really intensely. Not even if it's not fast, it's intense. What is another thing about our style of play? Now we kind of talked about the shooting. What does Coach Kelsey talk about? The clapbacks. He talks about the pace, right? The tournament pace is different. It's different. A team will slow it down in a heartbeat. Good shots, great shots are important. Now, to us, a great shot is considered normally a 3-pointer off a drive, draw, and kick. We don't fish for a lot of 2-pointers or inside baskets or taking it to the paint, free throws and stuff like that. Listen, and this is not me. You got your style. Listen, I grew up on Kung Fu and The Legend of Shaolin, and you'd be surprised at all the kind of the styles that can tear somebody apart. There was never really an ultimate Shaolin monk, unless you're going to say, like, what's his name? Pai Mei? Maybe he's the ultimate, right?
That's a deep cut, yeah.
But everybody can get it.
Right.
Everybody can get it in a different style. But if I put you in, that's why in Mortal Kombat, sometimes you got the advantage when you go fight in different places. Tournament is its own Mortal Kombat dimension. The air is thicker. It's harder to breathe. You're in Buffalo, New York. It's not familiar territory. I mean, hey, these guys are good. They travel. They know what they're doing. But I'm just saying, it's different and it's difficult. Our shooting style and our pace can be greatly affected by the tournament style. And last night's game, it worried me. My third thing that we are
Brian
good.
Hodgson, by the way, is at the podium if you want to hear from him. Sorry,
Let's catch a little bit.
Okay.
Enabled me to chase my dreams. I mean, going through what I went through as a child, and I tell our players all the time in life.
Pull it, Nikki.
We all have experiences,
Pull it, Nikki.
positive and negative, right? And
Nikki, you there?
we have the opportunity to determine whether we want to use those negative experiences
I tried.
in one of two ways, and that's as a crutch or as a ladder.
I wasn't ready to hear his
The people
when
that
I
use
was
those experiences as a crutch to make excuses for
when
their
I was a
shortcomings,
twinkle in my father's eye
quite
story.
frankly, the world doesn't care, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
If you use those negative
wasn't ready for that.
experiences to grow and better
I
yourself,
thought he was going to be talking
use it as
about
a ladder,
X's and
you're
O's
going to be successful.
and
And
how good Louisville
did I
is
have
and how
the
we're lucky
worst
to be
childhood
here.
in the world? No. I had some traumatic experiences, but I had people around me that were there to catch me.
This is going to be an
And,
important point, too.
The Hodson family are the center of that.
I have you potted down. Do you want to be potted up?
Yes, I want to be potted up.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, you're up.
Pull it, Nikki.
Than it ever did in my life because I have a 2-year-old son.
I wasn't expecting to hear when I was a twinkle in my father's eye stuff. I was expecting to hear how he's preparing for our shooting. But thank you, Nikki, for
that might come next. That might come next.
Listen, he had his chance. He had his chance to perform in front of the millions of listeners of Middays with Marcus Maben, and he blew it. He failed. Now, I'll tell you what, Nikki. Let's take a quick commercial break, and I'll continue with my nightmare scenarios. You're all welcome. 93.9 The Ville.
Louisville basketball plays here.
Here's Conwell, nice into the lane, lunging layup, good and fouled.
It's the Cards facing off against South Florida on Thursday in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
They're extremely dangerous and a team that's, like I said, red hot and playing their best basketball at the right time of the year.
Coverage begins at noon with tip-off at 1:30. All right here on your home of the Cards, 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app.
Sports fans, score big at Boom Buzz Pizza and Watch Bar. Enjoy gourmet pizzas, game day specials, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and the best game day atmosphere in town. Boom Buzz is the perfect spot for sports fans, private parties, and gatherings, with state-of-the-art audio and video systems making every game day special for the big game. Boom Buzz Pizza and Watch Bar. Eat, drink, watch. Order online at boombuzz.com.
Your home for the best Louisville sports talk is ESPN Louisville, ESPN 680, 105.7 and 93.9 The Ville. Presented by Boom Buzz Pizza and Watch Bar. Eat, drink, watch.
I'm attorney Sam Aguiar. At Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers, we love taking on big insurance companies. We know their playbook and how to beat them at their own games. At the end of the day, our process ensures you receive the top compensation you deserve. And with a proven track record of beating these insurance companies, we've secured life-changing settlements for our clients. Don't settle for less when it comes to your future. Demand the team that gets results.
Bird in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
We are right in the heart of winter, so it's time to ask yourself if your heating system can make it to spring. So if you have any issue with your heat, or if you know it's time for a new system, then you need to call DFH Company today. Now until January 31st, when you buy a complete Train system, receive 18-month special financing. It's hard to stop a Train, so call DFH Company today at 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Bring the whole squad to Louisville City's home game this Saturday versus Rhode Island FC. It's Youth Sports Day at Lynn Family Stadium with kickoff at 4 p.m. Youth teams can get in on exclusive experiences and special rate tickets by visiting loucity.com today. Gates open at 2:30 p.m. for happy hour leading up to kickoff between two of the Eastern Conference's top teams. That's Lou City versus Rhode Island FC this Saturday at Lynn Family Stadium. Visit loucity.com or call 502-LOU-CITY for tickets today.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502-219-7964 today.
In this city, we value preparation, execution, and most importantly, winning.
As the world continues to become more complicated and frustrating with all the new tech and AI, let's keep one thing simple. When looking to buy or sell a home, call Josh Jarbo. Clear communication, proven strategies, no wasted possessions. That's the kind of execution that leads to national recognition, and is exactly why Josh was honored in this year's Who's Who in America for his impact and production on the real estate industry. But let's be honest, cut-rate agents deliver cut-rate results, and Josh doesn't shy away from pressure. With his guaranteed sale program, if your home doesn't sell within 60 days, he will personally buy it. That's confidence. That's accountability. And as always, mention you heard it here on 93.9 The Ville and receive up to a $5,000 seller credit. Josh Jarbo's proven strategy, powered by RE/MAX, the world's most trusted and recognized real estate brand, delivers results you can count on. So don't complicate it. Time is a currency, and it's one you can't afford to waste. Keep it simple. Call Josh Jarbo at 502-216-7590 or visit his website at joshjarbo.remaxempireky.com.
Control is and always will be one of the most valuable resources one could have. If you agree with this sentiment, then DFH Company is most certainly the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222, or you can look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Make sure you look into the Mitsubishi mini split like the one we use here at the 93.9 studios for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Before I get to the third of just the first three things that I think we, are most confident in our team, I'll say this. This is not Debbie Downer talk. These are tangible challenges in the tournament that I'm talking about. I'm not saying we're going to fold under any of this. Tangible challenges, advantages, disadvantages. Nothing I'm saying is about winning or losing. What I'm saying is what I saw last night and the challenges that South Florida will present to us. It's also, I was going to save this till the end. It's also the exact reason that I'll look at my team and say, if you can fight through these challenges and win, the way you fight through these challenges and win will give me confidence when you're playing Michigan State or whoever. This will give me confidence about our style being sustainable in tournament-style basketball. Again, last night's game was just a reminder of how it's called, of the pace and the individual, the coaching styles. Number 3, what do we like, Nikki, about our team? We like our versatility. We like our versatility and depth. You know what you get reminded in? Okay, versatility, depth. That means you have a game plan. You have the players and the game plan that you think are the matchup problems. A lot of times when you get into the tournament, the emotions of the game can make you scrap a game plan, can make you stubborn enough to stick to the game plan. The bench depth that we have. Yesterday we were making a point about, hey, even if you're 1 and 2 or better, I have faith in my 4, 5, 6, 7. In the tournament, boy, that sphincter is tighter in the tournament. The I don't listen to the crowd, I don't listen to the noise. It sounds good. Everybody got something on their back that they're trying to prove. It sounds good. When you get into that tournament, that roster shrinks. You go with the guys you trust. Now, everybody's going to be sitting at home saying, why don't you change this? Why don't you sub this guy? Why don't you sub that? It always sounds good. You go with who you trust, which makes you shrink the roster, and it makes you stubborn sometimes. It has the possibility of making you stubborn and sticking to the game plan, right? I mean, this is all of us. This is our coach. This is what we see. You know, this is me reacting as a fan, me reacting as a teammate, me reacting as a coach. Our depth, okay, but it gets tighter. It's a big stage. We have to get the names out of the conversations. Why do we have to get the names out of the conversations? Because this might be one of my last chances to say this publicly, even though I've been saying it for the longest, but NIL just proved my point by 6,000%. I'm gonna do some personnel, right? Yesterday I had fun, with Steve talking about, hey, the sizes of our guys and the dimensions of our roster versus their roster. Okay, let me just start with their first guy listed on their roster, Xavier Brown from James Madison. He has basically all the James Madison accolades that Terrence Fats Edwards had. All third team, first team. What we do to have Terrence Edwards' inside scoring ability, even though it took forever for Terrence to get to the basket. He got to the basket, and he got in that lane, and he got some buckets a lot of times in tight situations, right? Terrence Edwards had a kind of a tourney style. It's kind of like that one-on-one, I can handle the fouling. It's frustrating to watch, but it'll get you a bucket. One of the only guys that could get you a bucket. Chucky could get you a foul and a bucket. Terrence will get you something close range. James Madison guard, this is a senior. So he was playing with Terrence Edwards. Okay? That's just the first guy, okay? And we're talking, again, 6'2", 183 pounds. Their number two guy, he's actually number one. A senior. Guess where he's from, Nikki? Asheville, North Carolina. We got to play a senior from Asheville, North Carolina. Do I have to tell you about the Asheville, North Carolina boys? Do I have to tell you the dog nature? Do I have to tell you when you grow up in the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, when you grow up, I can't get my particular street. Well, the streets you grow up on, it doesn't matter what street it is, it's all vertical hills. You really do walk uphill both ways if you're from Asheville, North Carolina. So if your granddad or dad is from Asheville, North Carolina, he's the only one that's telling the truth. You walk uphill to and from school. It's true. You know what his previous school was? Florida State. Florida State. Florida State. This is 3 years at Florida State and 1 year here. He's a 6'7" forward out of Asheville, previous school, Florida State. Okay, so this is why I'm telling you, like, don't just say South Florida. Don't get that out of your head. We're playing a combination of players with the exact same kind of experience our players have. They're probably their best player on their team, Wes Ennis, son of Curtis Ennis, just basically has who's who, NABC, All-American, South Atlantic Conference Player of the Year, South Atlantic Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All Conference First Team, Freshman of the Year, All Freshman Team, All Conference Third Team as a freshman. Like, dude, is there anything on this court that this kid hasn't seen? He's the best player on their team. He's a problem. Size aside, he's a problem. I'll spend the least amount of time on him. I won't go to the freshmen, the athletic, talented wild cards. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Another forward, 6'7". And it hit me too, and I apologize about yesterday. We were talking about our size, and then I said, and then it hit me like, we're going to have to enforce our size some kind of way, right? I'll leave that for another discussion about enforcing size. Isaiah Jones, 6'7" forward from Nashville, Tennessee. Of course, I don't have to tell you about those Tennessee kids either, right? Their 6'7" forward out of Nashville was a member of a certain team that is partly responsible for Coach Calipari not being at Kentucky. Repeat, their 6'7", 230-pound senior forward is partially responsible for why Coach Calipari is no longer at Kentucky. He was on the Oakland team that busted Kentucky. I didn't see how many he put up in that game, but he was on that team. He was on that culture. He got that pedigree on his back. 6'7". Yesterday, I made the joke, and I said, well, their Isaac McNeely is 6'5". I might have said 6'7". He looked a little taller than 6'5". But if I said 6'7", I was wrong. He's 6'5". Their shooter, you know where he's from? Their shooter, hold on, I'm sorry, I skipped away from my spot. Okay, here we go. Their shooter, I don't like that stat. Most free throw attempts in a season without a miss. It's an Arkansas record. Most minutes played in a season without a turnover. They're 6'5" shooter, sorry, Phil, who I compared to Isaac McNeely because they're the shooter, has 2 Arkansas records.
Suburban.
Most minutes played without a turnover, Arkansas record. He was a McDonald's All-American nominee. Means he's a final cut of McDonald's All-American. Malik Williams was a final cut for McDonald's All-American. He set that freshman record of most attempts without a missed free throw attempts as a freshman at the University of Arkansas. That's where he played coming out of high school as a McDonald's All-American nominee on this South Florida team. And his quality is not turning the ball over, and he's money from the free throw line, and he's money from the three-point line. Again, I'm not having this conversation about winning and losing. I am presenting the challenges that we face. Sophomore, 19 appearances. 19 appearances as a sophomore. He's one of their just dudes. Now, if you listened, got guys from Florida State, got an Arkansas dude. Their best player on their team has every accolade outside of Power 5 that you could ask for. These are challenges and tournament style, lower turnovers. These are all challenges. We'll keep it rolling here on 93.9 The Ville.
Jason Horowitz here with an NCAA tournament schedule preview. March Madness continues tonight with first four action from Dayton, including the first big dance appearance by the SMU Mustangs since 2017, as they face Miami of Ohio in the tournament for the first time in 19 years. Then it's wall-to-wall action with great matchups from across the country on Thursday and Friday. Stay tuned for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's and women's NCAA tournaments right here.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your home just will not stay warm because the cold weather is here now, or for your energy bills that just keep climbing, it's time to call First Choice Insulation. They are your local attic and crawl space insulation experts. First Choice Insulation keeps the cold out, keeps the comfort in. They've worked on major projects like Denny Crum Hall and with the top builders across the region, so you know you're going to get top quality every time that you can trust. Stop burning dollars to heat your home. Call First Choice Insulation today for a free consultation and mention ESPN Louisville. You'll get $300 off your next project. So First Choice Insulation, 502insulation.com, or you can give them a call, 502-802-9730. Louisville's first choice for insulation.
It's March, and that means it's a perfect time to start betting with Circa Sports Kentucky. As you're looking to bet through the mayhem, Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, plus a new enhanced in-game system so you can place the bets you want from tip to buzzer. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Customer-focused technology experts, delivering equipment, service, and solutions for all your office, network, print, and mailing needs.
Just whistle for duplicator sales and service.
Authorized IT support specialist on world-class products and solutions from Rico. Lexmark, HP, Epson, and FP Mailing Solutions will simplify your daily work processes wherever you're working.
For today and tomorrow.
And their commitment continues with their commercial print and mailing division, Derby City Litho. Discover the Rico Pro C9500 graphic print system for your outsourced print communication needs. Duplicator Sales, Derby City Litho Corporate Mailing Systems, and Rico. Call them at 502-589-5555 or visit them online at duplicatorsales.net or at their store, 831 East Broadway in Louisville, with offices in Elizabethtown, Lexington, Paducah, and London.
Just whistle for duplicator sales and service.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Most people don't put much thought into the value of a reliable water or sewage pump until they have to. Well, I have a team that never stops thinking about it. Kentuckiana Pump Sales. With over 35 years of experience, Kentuckiana Pump Sales, a premier Ashland pump shop, includes sump, sewage, grinder pumps, and many more to service all residential, municipal, commercial, and industrial needs. Next time you think about pumps, think Kentuckiana Pump Sales, 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, or visit KentuckianaPumps.com.
Here's what you missed on the Diener Show.
Again, first round game. Give me South Florida any day of the week. Yes. If you can't beat South Florida, Pat Kelsey, I don't know what to tell you. This is exactly the type of team that they maul. You know, I mean, that's what they do.
Well, and from there, it could be Mick or it could be Hurley.
Well, So then, it's Michigan State or North Dakota State. Again, I'm not discounting the fact that North Dakota State could be.
Weekday morning, 7 to 10 on 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 and 105.7. The official broadcast partner of all U of L athletics, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Powered by Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
They're like our first responders or essential personnel, over 36 years of experience. Best service, fairest possible price, and it's right over in Jeffersonville, Indiana. People, go see Harold or go see Mark. They'll find out exactly what you need. Utility, sump, affluent, grinder, sewage, anything you need. 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, of course. Or you can give them a call, 812-725-9217, or simply visit KentuckianaPumps.com. Okay. Well, things just got so much more exciting. Is this your announcement, Nikki?
Hey, you take it away, my man.
Can I get the sounder?
None of that.
It just keeps getting better.
I could give you this one. Maybe this one's a little bit this one's a little bit better. I think this is it.
Give me. Michael Brown Jr. is out against South Florida.
Players are coming to the podium.
Let's do it, Nikki.
We got Ryan Conwell, Javon Hadley, Isaac McNeely, and Adrian Woolley.
Let's do it.
Outnumbered here, players to media. So are we waiting for more media to come, or are we just going to get going? I guess we're going to go. Okay. Questions for the players. The only person in here is a photographer. So here we go. Question back here.
Bill and O'Loughlin picking splinters. You guys, all four of you, are great scorers, but this team can really score all around very well. This is for anybody. Just talk about what it means to have so many people at this team that can score so well at any level.
I mean, I would say I think it just makes it easier on all of us. You know, just being such a diverse team.
being able to score in a multitude of ways. I think it just allows all of us just to get more open looks. And as long as we continue to trust each other and play off of one another, we'll continue to be effective out there on the floor.
And for Javon, this one's for you. Last year in this situation, you guys lost in the first round to Creighton. This time around, what are you guys looking to do? What's the mentality-wise for this one?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, thank you to God for being here. None of us would be here without Him. It's just making all this possible, so we're extremely grateful for that. But like you touched on, last year we lost in the first round to Creighton. Creighton was a really good team. South Florida's a really good team, so I'm expecting another really good matchup. But just continuing to worry about us, continuing to stay healthy, be mentally and physically prepared for what the game's about to be, and we'll be ready.
Yeah. Exclusive interview right here.
I'll take it. First time ever. So to go along with that ACC tournament you guys were just in, you've lost to Miami in the quarterfinals, but how do you guys feel like kind of that game helped you in the ACC tournament overall, and just conference play helped you guys get prepared for March Madness this year?
Miami's a really good team. Obviously we wanted to win the ACC championship, but you always got to have a positive lens on everything. And I think it could have been a blessing in disguise. Gave us a couple more days of rest coming into the tournament. Obviously, March Madness is the big thing. You want to win the ACC, but this is the big deal that you want to get prepared for. And Coach Kelsey and everybody scheduled a very tough schedule all season long to prepare us for this moment. We've been working really hard since June 5th. We walked on campus. We've been working really, really hard for this moment. So, we're prepared. We're ready to go, and can't wait to play.
You just talked about it. Head Coach Kelsey, a veteran head coach. Just talk about how it's been able to play under him this year and how he's been as a coach.
It's been amazing, just learning from him with all the experience that he has. Due to me coming from mid-major, getting coached by a high-major coach is very special, just learning as I go.
Hello, I'm Shay Riley from Ithaca College. I'm curious to know, is there any professional players in other sports besides basketball that kind of influence your game or help you, motivate you to get a good win?
Stumped him.
I don't know. I ain't got nobody in another sport. I'll say Kobe Bryant in my sport because I don't really watch any other sports, but Kobe Bryant because his mentality,
That was a good question. I haven't heard that one before. That was a good question. But no, I don't have one right away.
Can't think of one on top of my head.
Any maybe NBA player or maybe March Madness legend that you guys look up to and inspired to maybe have a good run in the tournament?
I would just say shout out to my dog KJ Simpson. He's my old Colorado teammate, so he's in the NBA and stuff. So shout out to him. He inspires me. We're old teammates, so I talk to him often. But being able to talk to somebody at the next level like that, and just obviously that's where you want to get to. So just I'm inspired by him.
Over here.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Full Court Network. I just have two quick questions. First question is, what's one word to describe Coach Kelsey? Each player.
Energetic.
Upbeat.
I would say passion. I'm at energetic.
I'm gonna change mine to determined, actually.
Yeah, very determined.
What is a song that best describes Coach Kelsey?
Probably some heavy metal rock music or something. I just feel like that's always playing in his head constantly in practice, especially. He's one of a kind for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This one's for Ryan and Isaac. Both of you guys are transfers to Louisville this year. Just kind of talk about this year for you guys from the transfer portal to joining Louisville. How has it been getting accustomed throughout the year, and how ready are you guys for this?
It's just been nothing but a blessing for me just to be in this position, just to be playing, here at Louisville, and just to be playing with a great group of guys. I'm just super thankful. The transition, they made it easy for me. They just welcomed me in, allowed me just to be myself, and I just have grown so much, not only as a player, but just as a man, just throughout the season. And I mean, I'm just thankful just to even, have made it this far, and we just, pray to make it further. So.
Yeah, coming out of high school, I committed to Virginia. I played there 3 years, and I would have never dreamed I would have transferred. When I committed to Virginia, I was expecting to be there for 4 years and graduate from there and all that. But God works in mysterious ways, and He challenged me last year with a coaching change, and coach gets fired at the end of the year, so I'm wondering what I want to do, and decided into the transfer portal. And it was probably the best decision I ever could have made. Coming to Louisville with these guys, with this coaching staff, it's just been a blessing for sure, and I've had one of the best years of my life, no doubt.
Okay, up front here.
Excuse me, this is for Ryan. Joey Johnson from the Tampa Media. Ryan, obviously you started your career at USF, and I know it's been a few years and some coaching changes and all that, but what are your memories of that year? And there's been some championships since you left. Do you still follow the team, and is it still something you pay attention to?
Yeah, I mean, actually I do just a little bit. I mean, I'll catch their game from time to time, just having played there my freshman year. I mean, it was a great experience for me. I think I actually just grew up a lot just as a man, as well as just being far from home, as I'm from Indianapolis and going all the way down to Tampa my freshman year. It was a great experience for me, and I mean, we didn't have the best year, but I'm thankful for everywhere that I've been, just throughout my whole journey. I feel like it's a huge reason to why I'm here today and have made it to this point. So, I mean, yeah, I keep up with them from time to time, but yeah.
They stole my
All right,
landing.
anything else for the players? All right, doesn't look like we have anything on the Zoom, so we're going to let them go. We'll let them go. All right, thanks for your time, guys. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Whoa.
Well, they stole my landing. That Ryan Conwell started there.
Darn you.
Okay. I'll pick back up. I'll incorporate some of the things we just heard from this a little bit later. But I didn't want to leave the personnel talk at where I left it, because there were some people I could feel it. Sometimes, Nikki, you can feel you have people hanging on by a thread, and then you have to change up and move, change up the system a little bit. Going back to, okay, let's use this as an example for Drew Diener. If you heard that, that last drop during the commercial break, Drew sees it and sees this game from the macro, 5,000 feet. You can't lose to South Florida no matter what. Now, I look at it, individual players, individual style of play. I look at it and say, okay, well, if they were in this conference, if they were in the ACC, what would they finish? Like things like that, player personnel kind of things. The last guy I was talking to you about, keep in mind, they just told you, our best player started in South Florida. The guy who's our best player right now. Names versus names, it's an antiquated way of seeing things. And here's the thing, I'm just as guilty too. Just saying, I don't care how that name sucks. I wasn't guilty of it last year because I lost to Creighton in a tournament before. So I know the threats of these teams. Now, they shouldn't have been as big of a threat back then. But they had the guy who played in the league for 10 years on their team. Nikki, did you know that? People make fun of me for losing to Creighton.
I did not.
They make fun of me losing for Creighton. Rodney Buford was in the league for 8 years. Gosh darn it. Anyway.
No. That was cathartic. You need to let that out.
You have to get that out your system. Okay. The guy I was talking about there, Isaac McNeely, played as a freshman at Arkansas. Played as a sophomore at Arkansas. The guy we're playing against has 3 years at Arkansas. Right? Actually, 2 years at Arkansas. Then he leaves Arkansas, goes to Arkansas State, and just basically just dominates. 36% from three. 24 games in double figures. 5 games with 20 or more. Career best 23. Tie career high, 5 3-pointers. Got the stuff we got. At the very least, has the stuff we got. I'll give you one more on the personnel front. Who would it be? Okay, we're going to stay away from the freshmen. Okay, well, no. Let's do this. Damian Collins, right? Where do we know that name? Previous schools. 2 years at Kentucky. 2 years at Kentucky. Make of that what you will. 2 years at Kentucky. A year at LSU. Now he's on the team we're playing against. Right?
Right.
All of the information I've given you, again, not to scare you, not to intimidate you, nor should you be intimidated in any kind of way. But if you put these players on a team, if I say they got a Kentucky transfer, an LSU transfer, a guy who's basically has every, school record at the place he came from. Like I've built a roster right in front of your eyes that sounds like an ACC or SEC. It sounds like a Power 5 roster construction. A Kentucky transfer, an Arkansas transfer, a Florida State transfer, who just happens to be from Asheville, North Carolina. Like, I just gave you a roster full of Power 5, not full of, but the ones that aren't Power 5 are dudes that just dominated in smaller schools. Yeah, that's another guy of the roster. And he's a redshirt junior. I made fun of the guy from Ontario, Canada yesterday. So Robert Morris, he's more of an eyeball guy, right? You see a guy out here, he's swole. Basically Abubakar Traore, right? He's just like, he's that threat. Athletic, strong, plays hard. You don't mind having him on your team. He doesn't have the panic numbers. Okay, freshman. Marietta, sophomore. Freshman, senior. Another 6'10" forward out of Marietta, Georgia. All Sun Belt third team. Oscar Robertson Trophy National Player of the Week. How did he win that? By over the course of the week.
God, Kelsey.
Just averaging 21 and 20. Coach Kelsey, you got your hands cut out for you. Your work cut out.
A couple really good days of preparation, and excited about the opportunity tomorrow.
All right, we'll take questions now for the media. Again, if please introduce yourself before you ask the question. We'll start up here with Ralph.
We've had Ralph Russo with The Athletic. The question that I'm sure you're anticipating, we talked to Michael in the locker room. He said definitely not game one. He sounded like he didn't want to rule out game two. What do you think about his status?
Yeah, our people, our medical people, they did everything in their power over the last, couple weeks, and especially these last several days since the ACC tournament with, with the hope of playing this weekend, and we're just not there. And the health and well-being of our players is always first and foremost. During the recruiting process, this is one of the things Kel talked about all the time is, the opportunity to play in March Madness under these really big lights. And he wants to play really bad. He's just not there physically right now.
I'm sorry, he ruled this weekend. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going one day at a time, so he is not playing tomorrow. And beyond that, I can't comment right now.
We'll go in the back.
Coach Matt Majinski with College Basketball Review. Look, with Michael and his status, obviously, it's been in limbo for the past few weeks. I know you have some senior guards to rely on, but what are the difficulties in practice when it's win or go home and you're not sure if one of your stars is going to be there?
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is those guys in the locker room right now are answering questions about that instead of, their experience of playing in the national tournament. Kel's a big part of our team, and he's a beloved member of our team, and he's a beloved teammate. He's got very, very close friends in that locker room. Just unfortunately, he's not able to play, and there's been a big chunk of this season where he wasn't able to play as well. And I'm really proud of our guys of adjusting and stepping up. Man, that happens in sports and in life. Injuries occur. Those guys never blinked. They never wavered. When someone goes out of the lineup, no matter who it is, everybody on the team has to adjust a little bit. Roles change a little bit. Obviously, Kel plays point guard, so Adrian Woolley and Ryan Conwell and Kobe Rogers, I think, have done a fantastic job of assuming, that role of being the quarterback on the floor. Ryan and Adrian sort of tag team it in our starting lineup. Kobe's done an unbelievable job coming off the bench and being a catalyst for us on both ends of the floor for the entire year. Look, we have never and we never will make any excuses and give any explanations. The guys that are able to play tomorrow and that are healthy are bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and they're excited about playing the national tournament. They've had a couple phenomenal days of practice. We know we play a very, very dangerous opponent that's hitting on all cylinders. They won 1 million games in a row, very, very well coached, and our guys are locked in. We're excited about the opportunity.
Right here.
Joey Johnson from the Tampa Media. Coach, could you speak about tomorrow's game stylistically, how both teams play or want to play, and what you think the matchup is going to be like with those styles?
Yeah, I think it's two teams with very similar philosophies. Both value pace. They play at a fast pace. We play at a fast pace. Obviously they play on the attack. They attack the basket. Similar to us, they value the three-point shot. They value offensive rebounding. They do all of that very, very well. So I think it's two teams that have similar styles and philosophies. And I can tell you this, both the people that are here in the building and then the people that are watching around the country at home on their television or wherever the heck they're watching it, they're going to be entertained. It's going to be a really, really fun game. And that's the cool thing about the tournament. It's like, I used to talk my mom into, I got a little bit of a cold and a headache this morning. I don't feel well, so I could sit home and watch the games all day. But it's what's so cool about it. They don't have TVs anymore on the rollers like they did back in the 80s when I went, but they'd always roll the TV out into the hallway, and everybody would come out and sit and watch the NCAA tournament, March Madness. I think it's probably one of the least productive business days in America, in corporate America. It's probably one of the least productive days in academia, and that's what makes it so great. The
biggest gambling days.
The sports mindset in America is locked on this great event, and we play a good team tomorrow. We're a good team, and we're excited.
Back here.
Mike Waters, Syracuse Post-Standard. Pat, you've had a lot of success in your first 2 years at Louisville. I was wondering what a coach needs to have in place when he takes over a program, maybe especially in terms of NIL or other financials, in order to be successful at the Power 4 level.
You need to have a commitment from your administration, starting with the president of the university, all the way down, to be successful in Power 4 basketball right now. There's no doubt about that. I'm fortunate to have the best job in the entire country, in my opinion. Basketball, sports, Louisville athletics is the centerpiece. It's the heartbeat of this great American city that sits right on the Ohio River, right over from the state of Indiana. It's a I don't know how else to describe it. It's a glorious place. I've lived elsewhere for many, many years throughout my life, grew up not too far from it, coached in a bunch of different places around the country, but I haven't been to a place like Louisville where it stands still when the Cardinals play. It stands still. And when we win, it is bright blue skies and sunny. And when we lose, there's a cloud over it. People are in a bad mood walking around town. That's what makes it great, because of the passion that people have. I can't tell you, man, how many times since I got the job here, people come up to me almost emotionally and talk about, you know, they were at the national championship game in 80 or 86 or 2013, or the first game they went to at Freedom Hall with their grandfather or their uncle or their mom or their dad, whoever it was. They can with great clarity say exactly where they were when they fell in love with the Cardinals. And because of all that, to get back to your original question, the university, our athletic department, our administration understand our sports programs being successful is the lifeblood of our city. Now, that weekend in May, when the Kentucky Derby's happening, you know, the city stands still and it's all about thoroughbred racing. But the other 364 days of the year, it's about the stinking Cardinals. And I'm blessed to have leadership in Josh Hurd, my athletic director, Dr. Bradley, our president, Larry Benz, the chair of the board of trustees, and all of the trustees. They want Louisville, University of Louisville to be great. And for University of Louisville to be great, our athletic department has to be great. And I'm just so fortunate, lucky to be the head coach.
Marquel?
Good morning, Pat. Marquel, Buffalo News. What have you seen from USF's Isaiah Nelson on tape, especially on the defensive end? What kind of force is he, and how can you avoid him or keep him less impactful in the game?
Terrific player, extremely decorated. I mean, he was unanimous player of the year in their conference. He was unanimous defensive player of the year in their conference for a reason, because he's a extremely dangerous, effective player, and we got to be at our best to deal with him because he's very good.
All right, you question the hat right here, and over.
Coach, congratulations. Luke Taylor, Full Court Network. With everything going on in the college basketball landscape, whether it's a transfer portal, coaching portal now obviously is a new thing, NIL and what have you, how do you keep the main thing the main thing?
Man, that's a great question, but you know, you keep the main thing by keeping the main thing the main thing. You know, I made a commitment to myself that when this landscape changed, I wasn't going to change. You have to adapt, but like my core beliefs are still a head basketball coach at a university. I mean, these are college-age kids. I still believe, and I think many coaches believe this, that we have an opportunity to impact and affect our players' lives in a way that professional level or that age can't. The late, great Skip Prosser, who was my mentor, used to quote Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he used to say, "Our chief want in life is someone who can make us do what we can." And I've always reminded myself of that quote because Skip always thought that's what the best teachers do. And that's what I think I am. I'm teaching this game of basketball, and you better win. If you don't win, not only at the Power 4 level, at any level, like your kids don't eat and you get fired. I understand that. But it's on a daily basis, pouring into our players and instilling values that are not only going to make them successful in their professional endeavors or in their passion in the game of basketball, but that's going to help them to be successful in life. Man, that sounds corny and it sounds like coach speak, but just because millions of dollars are at play, and when I'm sitting in the locker room and I'm looking around and guys are making a lot of money, I really don't look at them like millionaires. I still look at them like my students. They're my players and they're my students, and it's my job to lead them in the best way possible so that when they finish, they go back home and they go back with their parents, wherever they go back to, they're better because of the experience they had with my staff and me. I'm passionate about that. I get that question all the time, like, well, now that all this money's in play. No. The best coaches are great teachers, and that's what I strive to be every day.
All right, back here.
Dylan O'Loughlin picking splinters. I want to go back to last year, Coach. You guys losing the first round to Creighton, and your experienced coach, you have an experienced squad. Heading into this year's March Madness, do you kind of look at it as redemption, a chip on your shoulder, or is it a brand new clean slate we're just looking at this year?
To be honest with you, I haven't thought of that specific game, and you mentioned the team we played, at all. It's all about tomorrow's game, tomorrow's opponent, what we need to do to put our players in the best position to beat a really, really good South Florida team tomorrow. Our whole philosophy is based on the next thing being the most important thing and pouring our heart and soul into that next thing. Whether it's the shoot-around we're about to go do, which is a really cool thing, the practice we're going to go to after we're finished, the film session and walkthrough that we're going to have tonight, the philosophy is built around the process being elite all the time, and the results take care of themselves. And we're excited about the opportunity tomorrow.
Up front here.
Coach, you have two players on your roster that had some time at USF, Ryan Conwell and Kaysen Pryor. Obviously, different coaching staff, different situation. Ryan's had incredible impact on the team. Kaysen, maybe some ups and downs with injuries. Could you speak about both of them, what they've done for your team?
Yeah, Kaysen had a very, very unfortunate injury last year, and it was a significant, severe injury. And he was playing probably the best basketball of his career down in the Bahamas when he got injured, and it was like a football injury. Like the guy, usually in basketball it's a pivot. I mean, it was like one of those football type injuries, and rehabbed his butt off. And by the time he came back, our team was really in rhythm. Roles had kind of been established, and he had some setbacks in terms of his recovery. He wasn't cleared to play until at least a month and a half, 2 months into the season. But I think he's done a really good job of, although the role that he has hasn't been ideal from his standpoint, he's kept a good attitude and he's continued to be a good teammate, and he stayed ready. His name was called in the ACC tournament when, Kel wasn't playing, but then Isaac McNeely got like a bunch of staples in his head when he had that collision, and went in and played really well for us. I obviously losing his coach, even though he came here last year, and it was a very sad loss for the basketball community, and that affected him in a major way as well. And I know, in the South Florida area, he's going to be remembered and beloved for a long time. And Ryan's, Pete's like one of the best leaders I've ever been around. When your best player, when your best players are your best workers, your most committed, your best teammates, like you got something. And that's how Ryan Conwell is. Like he's our leading scorer, but you would never know it. He has this this tradition of Kate the Great, our trainer, who I think is one of the best trainers in the country. She has this big tackle box with like all of her medical supplies in it. Ryan Conwell, everywhere we go, when we load the bus, when we get it off the bus, when we take it to the game, Ryan Conwell carries this big old stinking tackle box with tape and Band-Aids and all kind of crap in it, because that's just who he is. He serves others. He's about others. He loves his teammates passionately and would do anything for them. That's Ryan Conwell. I won't coach many like him as special as Ryan. He's a special, special young man.
All right, last question back here, Marco, real quick.
Good morning, Coach Marquell, Buffalo News. Can you speak to how unique a situation this is for Brian Hodgson to not only make the NCAA tournament, but to be playing his first game in Buffalo?
Yeah, I have a ton of respect for Brian. Brian started in coaching. He was a junior college coach and grinded and really went about reaching this level and this level of success the hard way. It's not like he landed on second base or something and was given, no, like he grinded, and he has the respect of everybody in our profession because going that route's the hard way. I started at the mid-major level and work my way up, but it's even harder to start at the junior college level and work your way up. And the thing I want to tell you is, there are amazing level coaches at the junior college level. Amazing. And, what I hope happens, and I think it will, because of people like Brian, who started there and then obviously became an unbelievably successful assistant coach and then became the coach at Arkansas State, that athletic directors and presidents in the country will not be afraid to look at that level for head coaching talent, because there is a lot there, I can promise you that. But he's done a great job.
All right. Thanks for your time, Coach, and good luck tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Go.
That was one coach, Pat Kelsey, getting prepared for his second tournament game and as a leader of the University of Louisville basketball Cardinals. So, Nikki, I guess we got the answer on what that look on Michael Brown Jr.'s face really meant.
Yeah, so much for Demon Time. Well, I mean, maybe it'll be Demon Time in the second weekend if they can make it.
I just wanted to let you.
We'll see.
I wanted to let you get one off because I don't want to do it and I don't want to have any fun with it. We'll take our last commercial break here on 93.9 The Ville.
The brackets are set, and now's your chance to be a winner with the ESPN Louisville Bracket Challenge. Log on to ESPNLouisville.com today to register with brackets due by the time the games tip off on Thursday. Prizes include a TV from RGB Home Theaters, a remote car starter or dash cam from Extreme Auto Sound and Marine, tickets to Louder Than Life, Zach Bryan, and much more. The ESPN Louisville Bracket Challenge is presented by the Sheet Metal Workers of Smart 110. Circus Sports Kentucky, and the Mechanical Contractors Association, powered by Union Local 502. For more information, visit ESPNLouisville.com.
Flying from Louisville has never been easier or cheaper. Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport has more low-fare flights and non-stop destinations than ever, including new low-cost flights to Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and 5 Florida cities on Spirit Airlines, and new flights to New Orleans, Charleston, and Tampa on Breeze Airways. You can now fly non-stop from Louisville to over 35 destinations nationwide, like Los Angeles, Fort Lauderdale, Austin, and Fort Myers. Learn more at flylouisville.com.
Mark Ennis here for my friends at Window Nation. If you're tired of the air that's outside finding its way inside, then it's time to upgrade your windows. Right now, Window Nation is offering ESPN Louisville listeners up to 50% off all window styles, all backed by a lifetime warranty. Their experienced technicians will measure and fully install their best-in-the-industry windows in a single day. Schedule your fast, free estimate today at windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Spring deals are popping up early at Lowe's. Right now, get 4 bags of Stay Green 2 cubic foot mulch for just $10. Plus, save $20 on an Ego 56-volt string trimmer, now just $199. Spring starts better when you save early. Don't miss out. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/18. Mulch offer excludes Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Bourbon fans, this is the can't-miss Derby event. The Kentucky Derby on April 25th at Progress Park, hosted by TKO Flight Club. Celebrate Derby in style with sample pours from over 30 top producers, including Heaven Hill, Angels Envy, Four Roses, Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey, and Maker's Mark. Enjoy free food all night, live music, a cigar bar, and a setup to challenge in our chipping and putting contest, where bourbon bragging rights and prizes are on the line. Mini raffles as well, including a full set of Blanton's Gold. Upgrade to VIP for early entry and rare complimentary pours. Derby week, drink bourbon, fight Parkinson's, Kentucky Derby, one unforgettable night. Get your tickets now. Go to kyburby.com. That's KYBOURBY.com and enter ESPN25 for 25% off. That's ESPN25 for 25% off. Get your tickets now. kyburby.com.
If you're currently working as a plumber, pipe fitter, or HVAC tech, you owe it to yourself to check out Local Union 502. Union Local 502 offers the best compensation in the industry. They pay journeyman wages over $40 per hour with a total benefits package of over $60 per hour. Plus, 3 pension plans for secure, stress-free retirement. Join Local 502. Apply at lu502.com.
Residential shingle roofing and commercial flat roofing are two very different sciences. Shingle roofing is water shedding, while commercial flat roofing is essentially waterproofing. That's why you need a flat roofing specialist on your commercial roof. Roofing Solutions has decades of experience on thousands of commercial roofs, restaurants, schools, industrial facilities, shopping centers, all types of roofs, all kinds of conditions. And as a Duralast Platinum contractor, you know that one of America's foremost roofing manufacturers trusts Roofing Solutions with their most important projects. Roofing Solutions is your choice for your commercial flat roof. Call Jim McGraw at 502-741-0858. That's 502-741-0858. Or find them at roofsolutionsky.com. Roof Solutions is the solution to your flat roof problems.
If you're a true sports fan, you're always searching for that home field advantage. And speaking of homes, I have the perfect realtor that can meet all of your needs. The name you should know, Derek A. Stewart. Derek A. Stewart brings experience and expertise to all of your home buying and selling needs. Derek is also familiar with any and every type of property and location you could be interested in. And the best part is, your home field advantage is only a telephone call away. So do yourself a favor and call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today. Is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, which it has been, then you should be thinking Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course, they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502-219-7964. Also, take everything that I've previously mentioned about Citadel Roofing and Construction and add window installation. Every time you open your electricity bill, Citadel window installation can help. Every time you worry about the wind whipping by and the high wind days, I know you got a little nervous. Remember Citadel window installation. So both Citadel Roofing and Construction and Citadel window installation. Again, that number is 502-219-7964. Just to recap, today's show, the point of today's show was to discuss the challenges of an NCAA tournament. The things that I like about my team are also things that the tournament presents that could affect, my team's ability. Now, every team has to play under the same conditions. Now, tomorrow we can discuss motivation and chip on your shoulders and injuries and, the positives. And today's discussion about the challenges, the power of our camaraderie, our depth, our shooting, versus what they do well. Their personnel, I definitely wanted to include their personnel so you can say, hey, these are rosters too. The farther we get away from using the names, the better off you'll be at using your eyeballs when you see, the game. And the farther you get away from using the seating, the better you can get at enjoying or evaluating the actual product. The evaluation is not through the seating. The evaluation is through the physical nature, the focus, the fundamentals. Again, I say fundamentals fight through fatigue, and we'll see. Again, all these teams have a certain level of fundamentals, but you have to do them with tournament level intensity. This is why I don't do layups. This is why I don't do one-handed passes. This is why this entire year I've just sounded like the oldest guy in sports radio over the simplest things. Those are things that's just me. There's some things I can't get rid of. There's a saying, man. I thought it when I heard Coach, talk about the adaptation. Right. This is an Asheville, North Carolina saying. When you get into the deep waters, you better learn to swim, learn to drown, or grow some gills. Coach.
Ooh, I like that.
Coach, you better learn to swim, learn to drown, or grow some gills. Because this is tournament time. This is referendum time on rosters. And I remember that Creighton game. I remember both Creighton games. And everything we're talking about today is a product of the last two Creighton games that I've seen with my own two eyes. Basketball games. Okay? Again, not a threat show, not a Debbie Downer show. The entire reason for me to spend an entire show pointing out all of the challenges that are ahead of us is because it will circle back around. I said I'm going to spin the block. It's going to circle all the way back around to if you are able to deal with all the challenges, bring what you can to the forefront and beat this team. It'll be the same challenges in the next round and the next round and the next round. To me, you still have the roster to challenge anyone, to fight through the challenges you have, even with your Michael Brown Jr. missing. It's a huge deal. It can be a huge deal. It could be a no deal. Again, if we could spend an hour of separate time talking about what Michael Brown Jr. would bring to the table, what he would take away from the table, what it would mean for chemistry-wise, we could do that, but it's not really a tournament time thing. It's a side tributary of the big ocean that is NCAA tournament. Trying to think. Did I leave any stones uncovered, Nikki, with the challenges?
I think you covered it pretty good.
Think I've about covered it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Nikki, unless you want to wrap up, usually this is normally the time where Steve is talking about Tri-State Men's Health. Let me just, I guess 4 pegs, Derek A. Stewart, Grout Medica Louisville. Just give a good shout out to all our sponsors. Is there anybody you want to shout out before we get out of here?
No. I shout out my guys at Lulu on Market. I was working there last night. A lot of people visiting from out of town, I guess, for like spring break. So saw a lot of families, a lot of people coming in. It was very nice. And I have a confession though, Marcus.
I'm listening.
It was a very nice group, very nice table. And this couple was on their first date. And so I tried to buy them a dessert. And I accidentally, when I ring it in, you have to ring it in the system, and then you take it off of the bill. I forgot to take it off the bill. So I told him I gave him a free dessert and then charged them $15 for it. And I felt really bad. And I tried to find the guy on Facebook to tell him, hey, sorry, man. Can I cash app you $13 or whatever it was?
Listen, you won't ever forget that face. So you're gonna run into that dude, or he's gonna come back in, or this is gonna be, if this is their first date, then this is gonna be their restaurant at other times. So you'll be able to look. So the universe will not hold you and this couple apart. It won't happen.
If you know a Nate Brown, just tell him that I owe him a beer. There you go.
As always, 8150-939 is always the number. 3831-939 is always the text line. The YouTube channel is normally made for the Ville. Middays with Marcus Baby on 93.9. It's going to be tough, y'all. It's going to be tough. That's a tough team. That's a tough tem. Did Michael not want any parts of that point guard? did Michael see the writing on the wall saying, I'm not dealing with South Florida and that kid? maybe if we play in a big name team, maybe it'll just Michigan State, maybe I'll get some good footage, some good Louisville tournament footage. I'll play about 15, 17 minutes against Michigan State. So you know what? I just wouldn't feel right if I went through college and I didn't actually play any, just right after if we eke our way past South Florida. How many people would go insane if we beat South Florida? And then Michael Brown said, I'm good. He'd jump out like, what was it? Charlie's, was it his grandpa or his uncle in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when he got that golden ticket? He jumped out of bed. You remember right at the beginning when Willy Wonka came out the thing and he had that cane and he was like walking all slow, and then he fell over and rolled and then jumped up. Is that what Michael Brown Jr. gonna do? Now, listen, that might be a really dated reference, right? But I encourage everybody, if you want to get a good laugh, go watch the original Gene. Gene? What's his name? The original Willy Wonka. I can't. It's not Gene Hackman. It's Gene, not Gene. Whatever. I almost said Gene Katie. I got too much basketball in the brain. Okay, good people. I will see y'all either tonight or tomorrow. Gene Wilder. Thank you, Gene Wilder. I'll see y'all either tonight or tomorrow. I might get some film for tonight. I know I always say that, but I end up watching the film and getting too into the film instead of clipping it up and recording it for the people. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Thank you so much. That would have drove me crazy. All right, good people. Remember, the YouTube channel is made for the Ville. If you watched this show today, you're bold. You're very bold. You weren't supposed to. You were supposed to ignore this show today because it's gonna be tough. I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news about how tough this game was gonna be. All right, good people. Salute made for the Villes.